Okay. Stuart, would you mind introducing yourself briefly?
I'm Stuart Pimm. I'm the Doris Duke Professor of Conservation at Duke University in North Carolina.
Okay, and so you're on the Science Advisory Board. Can you describe how you see your role on that function?
I'm a science advisor to Chris Tompkins and Conservacion Patagonica. This is a hugely exciting project. This is a brand new national park. Moreover, it's a national park that has been created out of a beaten up, degraded sheep farm. And it's already an exciting place. It's going to change dramatically in the years and decades to come. And there are going to be some important scientific issues, and I'm just thrilled that I can do something to help.
And how did you first get involved in this project and meet Doug and Chris?
I've known Doug and Chris for a long time. I mean, they are, after all, icons. They are people who, as individuals, who've done more for conserving the planet than almost anybody else. They are really remarkable in their commitment to protecting land. I knew I needed to meet them. I knew I needed to spend more time with them. So I came down last year. I took up an invitation that was offered at a scientific meeting where I saw them, and so I came down and immediately recognized that there were some quite serious scientific challenges that we have to address.
And so you've worked mostly in tropical rainforests. What attracted you to work in a big grasslands park in Patagonia?
You know, a lot of people say, what's a nice tropical rainforest ecologist like you doing, working in a colder, wet place like Patagonia? The fact is that we, humanity, have protected about 15%. We, humanity, have protected about 13% of the planet, which is pretty good. But we've only protected 3% of temperate grasslands. Temperate grasslands are so easy to destroy by converting them to cattle pasture, sheep pasture. So this project is internationally remarkable in that it's protecting a temperate grassland. So that was what has dragged me out of the heat and the humidity of tropical forests to become involved in this very, very beautiful place.
And how does Conservacion Patagonica's model of doing conservation differ from other organizations you've seen and worked with?
I mean, one thing obviously is the scale. Many national parks, many protected areas around the world are really tiny. They create all sorts of ecological problems because they're too small. And the vision of Conservacion Patagonica is to protect very, very large landscapes. They can do that here. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. You can do it here. So there's a chance to do it right in a way that will be very difficult in some other parts of the world.
Mm-hmm. And can you describe this new gigapan project you're working on?
Last year when I came down, I knew that the immediate problem was how to draw a baseline around an area of 1 million hectares. That's not an easy thing to do. The scale is vast. In many parts of the world, you could do that with satellite imagery, high-definition satellite imagery. But this is not a part of the world that people want to take high-definition satellite images of. And then I came across this technology of a gigapan. And what it does is to take an ordinary camera, put it on a mount, and then take hundreds of individual photographs. And then with a very clever piece of software, you stitch these things together. In fact, my computer is over there at the moment, stitching away. And when you do that, you have an image that is breathtakingly both large and detailed. Some of these images, you could print them out, and they could be 30 feet long and 5 feet tall, and only then would you capture every last bit of detail in them. With that, you can capture the scale of what's going on, you can capture the detail of what's going on, and 5, 10, 20 years from now, maybe 50 years from now, we'll be able to understand the ecological changes that have taken place.
Do you have any hypotheses of how climate change will affect this area and this landscape?
What we know about climate change is that these areas of the planet are changing the greatest amount. The far southern areas, the far northern areas. These places are getting warmer, they're getting wetter, and that's clearly going to make a huge difference here. You know, tree lines may go up, glaciers may melt, lakes may get bigger, then again they may get smaller. There could be a lot of profound changes, and you know, having that baseline will enable us to understand them.
And what do you enjoy most about spending time in the Chacabuco Valley?
Well, first of all, spending time with Chris and all the wonderful people that she has here, including you. It's a real treat to be with people who care so passionately about this place. It's also a wonderful and spectacular place. To go over a ridge just behind the house here, and you go over and you see this spectacular view of the Chacabuco Valley. You know, there are hundreds of guanacos out there. That is a peak experience. This is really a beautiful part of the world. It's a thrill to be able to play some very small part in helping preserve it for our children, our grandchildren, for countless generations of Chileans and international visitors.
Okay, one last question. What do you hope this park is like 50 years from now?
I hope it's brimming with wildlife. I hope it's a place that inspires and excites people. I think the vision of this park, that you can create special places, you can bring degraded landscapes back and make them exciting. I think that will be an inspiration to the people generations hence, so that they can do more of the same.
Perfect. Thank you so much.